Belgium's good for two things: chocolates and child molesters. And the only bit is the chocolates to get to kids.
Well, it's Friday, February 20th, and thanks for tuning back into the links. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today, but first I'd like to talk about my location. As you'll clearly notice that I don't have my staple picture of Spider-Man behind me. And that's because I got some new equipment in yesterday, which is why I didn't post a video, and also why I'm in a different area. My office is in a little bit of disarray, so hopefully things will be back to normal next week, and I'll be back in my regular location. However, fret not, my candid audience, because I did take the time out of my busy life to find a story to talk about. And that comes to us from Wednesday's New York Times cartoon piece that's caused a lot of controversy. For those of you who don't know, the cartoon piece features two police officers standing over a chimpanzee in which they just shot. One of the officers turns to the other one and says, "Now who are they going to get to write the next stimulus bill?" I don't really think there's a lot to it. Because, first of all, if anyone was to be offended by this cartoon piece, it'd be the lady whose life it depicts who was mauled by the chimpanzee earlier this week. She should be the only person that would be offended by this cartoon, as, again, it's sort of poking fun at something that horribly went wrong. However, if I was Al Sharpton, I would say that the cartoon piece features strong racial overtones and is a throwback to racism. But what are these strong racial overtones Mr. Sharpton is talking about? Well, according to him, the cartoon clearly states that only a monkey could have written Barack Obama's stimulus bill, and therefore is kind of racially motivated. I think it was just written by somebody who didn't agree with the current political situation, and that's the end of it. They made a funny cartoon piece because they didn't agree with the way things were going. Let me first start by saying, though, I kind of supported Barack Obama. I believe that we needed a change. And I don't agree if the artist had nothing but pure intentions when he wrote this. I mean, pure intentions. I use that term loosely because, again, it is a political jab. But if it was anything besides that, I believe he should get in trouble. However, I don't see these strong racial overtones in this cartoon piece. For those of you who aren't familiar with Mr. Sharpton, however, take a look at his past. He's been historically known for taking things and blowing them way out of proportion, looking for something that clearly isn't there a lot of the time. Like in this cartoon piece, for example. I think it was just a political joust to someone who didn't agree with the situation. However, if you're like Mr. Sharpton, take everything, pick it apart, and overanalyze it, you're bound to find something that you don't agree with. I think that we all need to take a lesson from this. Sometimes, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a fucking submarine. Sometimes we just need to take things at face value and learn to let them go. Lastly, but certainly not least, I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with me and believe that this was just a simple political joust by somebody who didn't agree with the situation? Or do you agree with Mr. Sharpton and believe that this cartoon piece had strong racial overtones? There's a link to everything in the sidebar, but that's all that really mattered to me this day of Fry, and thanks for tuning into the links.